Spirituality means many things to many people. To some, it's connected to a religious belief. To others, it's something internal, something that doesn't require your time at church. A feeling inside that there's more to life than just this. To some, spirituality is some kind of a holy experience that one may experience at one time or another. To others, one's spirituality may be based on their virtues and the strict rules that they follow. Or perhaps they have abilities such as healing people with ailments like what the Buddhist monks do in remote areas. Historically, they were esteemed for their ability to heal people through their chants and by other means. I, for one, see spirituality as on a more basic concept. But which one is correct? Which one will satisfy our internal thirst for spirituality? Our life is made up of many ups and downs. There are things that happen that's out of our control, and there are things that happen that are within our control. We may not be able to do everything we want in life due to our circumstances, but we may be able to make the necessary changes to ourselves to have a better outcome in life. Sometimes our bad habits get in the way and cause all kinds of unnecessary challenges in our life. But what can we do to improve our life? What can we do to make it better? Will spirituality help us out with that? Will attending a church on a weekly basis change our life around? Will praying in front of a Buddha statue have a positive effect on your life? Will going to a religious ceremony turn your life around? Or will getting down on your knees and praying to a deity change your habits in life? Well, I'd like to thank you for coming on to our channel, Metaphysical Awakening. My name is Aya, and I know for many of you who are new to this channel, the topic of metaphysics may sound strange to you. But how would we go about answering questions that are left unanswered? How would we go about finding a rational explanation for all these mysterious events that take place in our life? The beauty of the human mind is how we can grow and expand our consciousness. We are uniquely designed to grow in such a way that allows us, for humans, to constantly evolve on this planet. Evolve so that we can move forward to a more advanced society rather than going backwards if we wish to. Our channel and our website, which is www.metaphysicalawakening.com, is an accumulation of information from our own personal experiences, which are shared by myself and my mom, Hitomi. We work together in many areas, and we also offer consultations. We'd like you to join us as we continue to grow and share our input in the realm of the metaphysics. Feel free to browse through our stones page to read each metaphysical property of each stone and tips on how to feel stone energy. Take the time to see how well you can pick up the stone's energy yourself. You might be surprised at what you can pick up. Our channel here is to provide you information on different topics that have a metaphysical touch to them. I often take the time each day to delve into many different topics, to keep my own ability sharp, but of course to mainly learn new things on a daily basis. I'm often surprised at how often I learn something surprising and new each day. Life is not always as we know it. There are other factors at play that we don't see with our own physical eyes or feel with a physical touch. However, we may feel goosebumps, for example, or the sudden change in temperature in the room or the space around you. Or maybe you have this internal feeling that something is about to happen. Whatever it is, there's always an explanation for the unseen. So travel along with me as I look into many different topics to uncover the metaphysical aspects of them. And I wish you all a beautiful day, and thank you so much for taking the time to stop by our channel and for taking a peek at our website. Your support is very much appreciated. So, what's the deal with spirituality? I mean, why is it that in a certain moment in our life we seem to cling to it, long for it, or search for it? Why is it that throughout humanity's history we seem to create it? We've created so many religions and in many parts of the world, and it never stops, because then these religions branch off to create another and then another and so on. So what is it about religion that makes us want to even create it? I don't go around preaching to anyone to urge them that we need to create a religion. I can never see myself doing that. So what kind of individuals does it take to start one and follow or allow it to grow. It certainly takes hard work and dedication to build one. So, are their endeavors wasted? Well, let's look into an example. The most famous man that we know of, Jesus, had traveled for miles and miles, or we could say kilometers for kilometers, preaching the gospel. He grew up with his mom Mary and his dad Joseph, going to the synagogue, learning what they call at the time the truth of God's word. Now, what they didn't know at the time, which later came out, was that he was receiving information from the other side. He often had spirits around him, helping him along in his journey, no different from many of us, except that he received insistence from the other side to build a religion, one based on the fundamental truth, which was that love conquers all. Love heals all wounds. Without it, one cannot survive in the world. I mean, imagine this world without the safety net of love. We would be headed down a terrible path in a heartbeat. It's what keeps us from immediate destruction. Love is a very strong net that keeps us all together and connected. It builds a bridge that allows us to connect with each other in a way that nothing else can. The connection is deeper and stronger, a bond that's very tough to break. A bond that can be shared outside of your family. The reason I'm going into this is because in those times, love was lacking outside the family. Communities were built on laws and law-abiding citizens, but without compassion, which is a form of love, one cannot exist without the other. There is an interconnectedness between the two. So a community or society without compassion incorporated into their laws allows for unjust laws, such as stoning a man's wife if she committed adultery, which is considered extreme nowadays, or maiming a person's body for stealing something. Such laws were extreme and unjust. At the time, religion was based on the idea that you must follow strict rules or guidelines to be considered holy or godly. You had to treat people in such a way that seemed loveless. I mean, it was all about what you did, the guidelines you followed, not how you showed kindness to others or showed compassion to those in need. Those who were sick with leprosy were treated as third-class citizens. Those who were poor and had nothing to show for it were treated like a lowly servant. Those who were uneducated and homeless were treated as if they were less than human. It seems that when a change is necessary during a certain period of time, there's usually one human being there to start some kind of change, to cause a spark, Love, or the message of love, was needed in those times, I feel. But what about now? What about the condition we live in now? It seems so varied. There's so much going on. What do religions have to do with our time? Well, as I was calmly sitting and observing this matter, it seems to me that religions are out of date. Sorry, I don't mean to offend anyone who's watching this. I'm just saying that with where technology is in our time, it's hard to believe that religion can catch up or keep up, because really technology is changing our lives at a rapid rate. And I really didn't expect to be talking or discussing technology in regards to the topic of spirituality. So, well, here I am. You might be asking, what does technology have anything to do with spirituality? Well, okay. Imagine living your life in some remote area and all you had was a TV, remote control, and a stovetop. So basically, your life pretty much how it used to be 20 years ago. Times were simpler. You had your own vices that you either dealt with at church or in your own living room. But now the concern is not so much the vices within you, but the feeling of the end of the world experience that's around us. We're surrounded by our laptop, TV, phone, which is internet ready with social media apps and so on. We're inundated with the news, social opinions, adverts, and more. We got a lot going on from just one little device that we're tied to. And it's not at all how it used to be just a short time ago. They have a major effect on our lives now. So what of religions now? Do we need them as a society to live through these times of one crisis after another? Well, as I stated before, I believe they are outdated in such a way that we need to look another way to get through these times. Things are more complicated, I feel. We're being tested on a whole nother level. Our times have changed in such a way that we can't tell what's left from right. Information is twisted up in such a way that we don't know which strand of information is correct or true anymore. So can religion help us with that? Can religion help us seek inner peace among this situation? Can religion help us contain what little left of our humanity we have? Religion has always been kind of a safety net for many citizens, or I should say civilizations, in such a way that people would be drawn to it whenever they had big problems or small problems. People would turn to religion when a disaster strikes. They turn to religion when someone dies in hopes that the person would go to heaven or wherever their religion tells them. People would turn to religion in hopes that they would go to heaven when they're closer to dying. We turn to religion for many different reasons, including good ones such as wanting to make a change in one's life or in hopes of improving their chances at a good life. Perhaps they want to meet other church-going individuals to maintain a positive social circle or influence in their life. For whatever the reason, we seek religion for, many different reasons. But what of the people who don't go to church, either because they don't fit in or just not plain interested? What do they seek if not a religion? Typically, I feel that they seek some other form of spirituality, not based on rules or guidelines to follow that you typically hear from many religions still today. We've entered a new age where technology rules most of our day. We receive our basic information from our phones. Who would have thought that 30 or 40, who would have thought of that 30 or 40 years ago? We were primarily focused on the invention of computers that were boxy and took most of our desk space. So what we grew up with in those times is very different from what the very young generation is growing up with now. They simply know what they have grown up with, which we ourselves, who are older, have witnessed what we have transitioned to. We've witnessed the stages of technological advancements in ways that the younger generation would have their minds blown just looking at how our stereos used to look when we were young. They did not witness the changes in technological advancement, nor how we used to live and receive information. Human contact used to be more genuine in the way that you would go to your neighbor's house to have tea or coffee just to chat and talk about your day. However, that seems unheard of. Now we just chat on Messenger, Signal, or WhatsApp, whatever you use, rather than actually getting together to have that genuine human contact. However, because of technology, they grew up being able to reach out to people worldwide, which used to be unheard of back in the day. Remember Penpals? It was hard keeping in contact with one while we were in school compared to 20, 30, 50 or more international friends that they have who are just, at a fingertip away. And I remember those times. I did love receiving those letters. That was always exciting for me, even though I had to wait for weeks before I received one or received any kind of reply. So times have changed. Therefore, our relationship to spirituality, I feel, has evolved too. How many young adults nowadays talk about going to church compared to 20, 30 years ago? Have the number of churches being built increased or decreased over the years? How about the number of attendees? Have they gone up or down? I don't think I've met one, to be honest, who goes to church here on a regular basis. I'm in Spain. Perhaps only to like Christmas Mass or to special religious holidays such as Easter or events such as communion. And even for those special events, only a few. So where is spirituality headed then? Is it headed in the right direction? I feel that we've reached a point where being an individual has come to be of the utmost importance nowadays. I'm not advocating for anyone to go out and be on their own and lose contact with the human population. No, nothing like that. But it seems that we've reached a point where we need to think for ourselves, where we need to flow inside and decide for ourselves where we need to be in this life, what makes us happy, discover what our purpose is, decide whether taking this path or that path is the right one for us, decide whether having a child is the right thing for us. In many cultures, there are individuals who are pressured, practically forced, to have children to display a show of fertility or status, but not all are happy with this decision. So as I see it, it feels that we're headed in a more individualistic way, which sounds horrible because the word has kind of like a negative connotation to it. But what I mean by it in terms of spirituality is that it seems that it's more about flowing within and being who we truly are. It's about being yourself and maintaining your ground. Know who you are and find your peace within. It's about being in the moment and savoring those moments to recognize what's important in your life. It's about valuing what's important to you and let no one take that importance away from you. It's about carving out your own path and let no one carve it out for you. Notice the pattern? This seems to be the age of me, 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 me. No, just kidding. No, it seems to be the age of be true to thyself. And that doesn't seem to align with most religions nowadays. Many tell you what to do in life in order to live a life of righteousness and what steps need to be taken to be accepted at heaven's gate. So why has spirituality evolved this way to new heights, it seems? This way of thinking seems to have gone viral in a globalistic way. Why has our focus now turned inward? Well, I feel there's too much chaos outward, to be honest. With all these technological advancements in the way we communicate with each other and the way we are bombarded with so much information mixed up with misinformation, that it's hard to tell the difference anymore because he has his agenda, she has her agenda. We're all at a crossroads in our life that we need to just stop and take a breath. Maybe a really long, deep breath. Maybe we just need to deeply tune into ourselves and remember who we are, what we want, what our morals are, because we seem to live in a sea of turmoil all around us. That is hard, like I said before, to tell left from right. We get caught up in the wave at times. So if we take the time to slow down and reach down inside ourselves, we may be able to tap into something we haven't tapped into before. Perhaps we can tap into something that can really change our outlook on life, change how we see things, put our priorities in check, see the importance in enjoying simple moments, whether it's with your friends or family members, or just sitting in our backyard observing a butterfly flip from one flower to another. Because these moments are actually healthy, not only for your mental health, but also for your spirituality. There are moments that help you transition from a sick, energetic state to a much healthier one, with something so simple as speaking to a good friend over a pot of coffee. Human contact is essential to humankind. It's what keeps us alive and going. We would bend over backwards for the ones we love. Why not take a moment to sit on a park bench to enjoy the fresh air and observe the nature around you? This is a spiritual moment. It enlivens your senses, it energetically calms your mind and body at the same time. It does many wondrous things to your physical body and energy. Why not take the time to close your eyes in your peaceful corner of your home to flow within? I can't even go on about the positive benefits of doing that because the list is very long, but we know from what many around the world have said that it's the best thing that they've done for themselves. It puts them in tune with who they are inside and with others around them. It creates a stronger connection not only with themselves but everything around them. It creates a stronger connection with nature and all sentient beings. It opened doors they had never known were there to be opened. So what do you think about your spirituality? Do you feel a push towards one? And if so, what direction? In what direction? I'd like to know. Please leave a comment below sharing what you think about spirituality nowadays and where you think we are heading. I feel like we're heading in an area that's new, and I think that science will one day get themselves involved, which is a very interesting concept. Well, I hope you enjoyed hearing my take on the evolution of spirituality. Typically when I feel into these topics, I sit and calmly write as I'm feeling into it with my heart and conversing with my spirit guides. So it takes a little time, but I do really get into it. If you like the video, please feel free to subscribe to our channel, give it a thumbs up, and we really appreciate your support in helping our channel grow. Our website's there for you, which is metaphysicalawakening.com, and I'll make sure to leave a link of it in the description below. But thank you again so much for your support. And thank you for even taking the time to stop by our channel. I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are, and be happy and be kind to yourself. Think of a reason to smile today. Take care, everyone. Bye.